Hey there all, I'm back for another Terra Mystica stream. And it looks like we're in position 1, so we gotta kick this game off right away by picking races. So let's have a look. Okay, so immediately I see the Cult of Air being presented twice in a row for cult rewards. And Stronghold and Sanctuary scoring both happen back to back in the late game, with round 1 TP scoring. So, oh, no, my mistake. Looks like it wasn't up to me to make the first move. That's kind of a shame that the dwarves went, because all of these signs are typically things that I would look for in an engineer's playthrough. They certainly don't want their Stronghold or Sanctuary coming out early. It's just too expensive to get the Stronghold when the only reward is not an economic one. And then also, the Sanctuary is somewhat problematic since it removes their most excellent income, which is the 5 power income on the second temple. But no engineers this game, that won't be happening. So another thing that I naturally pick out here, both of the high money bonus cards are available, along with the scoring for shipping card. And all of those options can make Mermaids a very strong contender. They're definitely the number 1 race in the game that's most looks like we've got some chat spammers. Time to take out the ban hammer. One moment. Alright, so the Mermaids are definitely the faction that's most hurting for money in the game constantly. They start with all the tools to spam out as many dwellings as they could want, and then it's kind of hard to double back into trading posts and get the cash. So the Mermaids are definitely a contender here. I think any recurring viewers will know that I'm usually a fan of playing the Alchemists. The Alchemists are perhaps not at their strongest ever here, just because the spade scoring is too early to capitalize, having upgraded digging capabilities and really combo off of that. And also, the best of the scoring cards for them, the dwelling scoring, is not available. So that's pretty neck and neck with the shipping bonus. And also, when other races have access to these coins cards that we wouldn't want to hate away as the Alchemist, that's makes the rest of them a bit better. Let's see, we could also look to, nope, we do not have the shipping bonus increase, which is usually the one that the 2 green factions will prefer in a start. I'm going to go ahead and toss the Alchemists into this bidding pool regardless, but just being somewhat cognizant that they're definitely not at their usual full power level here. So we're not going to bid very aggressively for them. Or, actually, you know what? Scrap that. We're going to go for the Mermaids. As mentioned, they're really strong here. Hopefully other people will undervalue just how strong. They've gotten a chunk stronger with the pick of the Fakirs. The yellow factions actually notably tend to help the blue ones out, because they both, they're opposite each other on the terrain transformation cycle, and so they can coexist without having to fight too much for spaces, and they have a lot of natural good start points on the west side of the map around here, and coming down here or over here are normally places that those two faction colors would both love to begin, less so the East Continent. So they can really help each other out a good amount. So currently on this set of 3, there are no terrain color neighbors, right? We're looking here, here, and here. Obviously, it's guaranteed that the final faction pick will beget a color neighbor for someone, but we don't... It may change the dynamics of play considerably, whether it creates one pair of color neighbors if either the swamp or plains get picked, or if a wasteland or forest faction comes in, then you have a faction with color neighbors on both sides, and it creates a lot of neighbors for everyone except one person, though we wouldn't know if that would be fakirs or mermaids. So kind of hard to know how this might play out until we see the next faction come. But definitely the mermaids are our top pick of what's presented here by a considerable amount. Since it is rather idealized conditions for the mermaids, we do have to wonder if the Darklings are the final race submitted. Darklings, known power gaming race, definitely on average the strongest of the bunch. How are we going to bid Darklings relative to mermaids on this board? Usually it's safe to bid a good chunk more for the Darklings than any other faction, but this may well be a situation where they're very on par with the mermaids. In fact, let's go ahead and have a look and check out the Snellman stats on how this particular triad's matchups fare. So here we go. We have dwarves and fakirs and mermaids. Alright, so if you throw Darklings in as the final one of the bunch, 8 games, not an enormous sample size here, but it does look like they still stand a chunk over mermaids, and that's definitely not always the case if you crawl this stat repository. I suppose we'll... But since both the mermaids and the Darklings have their own innate point generation schemes available, the Darklings through their priest terraforming, and the mermaids will take theirs mostly through this bonus shipping card. And neither one would rely very heavily on these round scoring tiles, just because it's not a wonderful configuration for any faction to score a lot on them, really. So, all of this has just become beside the point. So, now that it is, let's go back to those stats instead of Darklings. Let's look at Halflings. So, much better board for mermaids than the average, and notably worse board for Halflings than the average without a spade round on 3 and 4. Those are typically the only times you'd want to play them. So you have to assume a more top-heavy distribution for mermaids. As usual, don't play fakirs unless you're just trying to be silly and have fun. If everyone wants to just take the race they picked at 30 points, that would be absolutely wonderful. That's definitely a noob move if you find yourself doing that every game, in and out, but we've sort of hammered to death already. The mermaids are really the faction we would prefer to be playing here. They're situated more powerfully than everyone else. So if every race starts at an equal 30 points, we're in awesome shape on mermaids. Of course, in some idealized dream world where other people start on lower point totals for dwarves or halflings or whatever, that's just gravy on the cake. Or gravy on the mashed potatoes, let's say. Icing on the cake. Yeah, that's better. Not to create a gross food mixture. Okay. So someone is gonna chase mermaids. Nope, still going down on mermaids. I would happily bid the mermaids down a chunk more than this on this layout. So let's just keep doing that. No, even further. Okay. I'll go ahead and bid 19. I've noticed on Board Game Arena there's sort of a psychological factor that's present much of the time. For other players, where the threshold between 20 starting points and 19 starting points somehow registers in their brain as much larger than a 1-point threshold. So it can sometimes be advantageous to bid 19, just because it's, the leading digit changed. Whoa, she bid so much. And we want to capitalize on even psychological tricks to win, if we can. We are not above this. We have a mission to fulfill. So I would have been happy to take mermaids at 19 versus dwarves at some number in the mid-20s and halflings and fakirs both at 30. That would have been a totally satisfactory arrangement in my books. And the fact that this is becoming much closer than that is, again, it's really just wonderful for us. Assuming we actually do win the mermaids. But at the rate we're going, I think the dwarves and halflings are being beat down overly much. So, I mean, if everyone goes crazily far down, we'll jump on the fakirs. But barring that, we really want to be on mermaids. So who's the player? It was, I think, this Savarix fellow. The one who needs to choose the right now was the one that dragged fakirs into the pool. And, this is probably less true at higher ELO values, but it's definitely the case at lower ones that players have a little more inclination towards picking what they dragged into the bidding pool themselves. And as I was about to culminate by predicting, he did in fact jump on fakirs, his own selected race, right then. Now we have to figure out where we want to, where exactly we want to start on all this. So, engineers will always start here and someplace else, usually over on this continent. Fakirs, it's very normal to pick these two start locations. And, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have an engineers player, we have a dwarves player. Well, then we're almost certainly getting the other starting location stuffed over here in this triad. So that they can directly tunnel. Now, I think we would be quite happy to take either of these starting points. They both branch into somewhat natural towns and strings of easily terraformed spaces. We would also be happy to come over in this place and just be adjacent to the dwarves. We can certainly creep up in this direction very easily to terraform. And I guess the information we don't have yet is where the halflings liable to do. Almost certainly this place. It's a pretty normal tile for them. That would be happy if they did it, then they can definitely have a rough time scrapping it out with fakirs, who usually want to extend to this space and carpet fly 2 to the right. That doesn't really interact with us. Another plausible starting placement site is over on this continent. There's just a lot that they can terraform very cheaply, so they'll probably pair off with dwarves over here, and we really don't have any interest in things on this continent. It's much too expensive to terraform, and we can't capitalize on our ability to jump around with the with our increased starting shipping. So I guess for now we'll just go ahead and take this site right here. Is that what we want to do? Yeah, we'll go ahead and start right here because it's not obvious. It may well be that the fakirs wind up upgrading this adjacent to halflings in preference, in which case we won't be so sure about how much power we can reach from being next to this point on theirs. So yeah, let's grab this one. It's definitely the harder one to bridge between the two sides in the early game anyhow. So we'd rather start on both ends of this wide shipping divide. Okay, so halflings did start in the predicted points. Dwarves will almost certainly be here. Seems likely fakirs come in this spot. So we could start here, and then in one terraform we have 2 jumping points. We could also do it over here, and then a single terraform also gives us 2 tiles. But we have access to more 1 terraform tiles at that point. And in either case, 2 shipping allows jumping up to the other. And there's really no danger this disappears on us. It's unbelievably expensive for the fakirs to terraform this space into desert. And the halflings would, they would probably not press this far, this fast when it costs a bunch. It costs 2 terraforms for them to flip this space and 1 for that one. So they have some distance to go. We can definitely cover it first. Yeah, so we will go ahead and grab this one. Hey there, Alexabite. Sorry you can't stay, but it's nice to have you pop in. Thanks for the good luck, always. We can always use good luck. We want all our opponents to make terrible mistakes that give us tons and tons of power in the early game. Yep. Oh my goodness, I just noticed we're battling an evil hamster. Okay, we've got to get on a bonus card. So how do we want to start in all this? Ideally, we would find the free terraform actions, but those aren't super forthcoming here. So one option is just go for the money, because we absolutely know we're going to need it the more the game goes on. We definitely weren't considering the priest, so glad to have that out. I can see why the halfling player is, though. He's going to have to do some major priest jitsu in order to come up with any amount of dig upgrading for round 2, really. Now, we could start with... this is sort of a classic favorite just because it grants 2 workers when workers are scarce early. We could also... Honestly, the 3 power and the worker is probably a bit better for us. Just because we're going to be relying on these dig actions all game for terraforms, but we still want to be able to take as many power actions as we can in the early game. Without having to burn our power tokens. And this will start us out at 12 in Bull 2, so any power gained at all is 1 terraforming action less, 1 power token burned less as weighed against the double dig. Oh, good luck against the hamsters specifically. Yeah, they're cheeky little bastards. They definitely, they puff them out, shove all that food in there. You'd never trust a hamster with their cheeks puffed. Who knows what lies therein. Really the main contender against this action would be this 6 coins card. And probably that's not going to be a high priority taken by... I think the power can get us towards more money via this power action too. I think we're... All in all, we're definitely pretty happy about this one. The 3 power outweighs the scoring bonus is nothing. We won't get that. I think the 3 power outweighs the extra worker. So let's go ahead and take that. And this TP scoring is also similarly not a thing. You know, we will build a trading post because we're gonna go for a temple and pick up the Earth 1 favor. Classic, slightly overpowered favor, but the mermaids are very dependent on it. We can't really afford to be missing that. I'll actually note for the viewers who haven't heard me on this tirade before, I think the mermaids are unusually dependent on it. I do not believe that favor is a necessity with all factions the way some people do. This is definitely happy for us. Dwarves upgrading here is supposed to here. It kind of makes sense from their perspective because with the halflings wedged between 2, it was just sort of inevitable that the halflings would choose to be upgrading this one. So everyone's going to jump on this train, and it's going to work out best for dwarves and halflings in terms of power leeching actions. We are going to miss our Earth 1 favor if we do not upgrade this right now, because then all 3 of them can outcompete us there. And as much as I normally hate missing the Earth 1 favor tile that gives 2 points every time you place a dwelling, I would hate missing it here even more than usual, because as we discussed at game start, these round scorings do not add up to as much for any faction really as they would in most games. So we're going to go ahead and steal that right now. It's a little sad that it makes us slow to the dig actions, but what can you do? Yep, everyone going up in sequence. Fakirs will probably have to find a different favor to pick. I think it would actually work out in our interest if someone else declined to take Earth 1, and the Fakirs then decided to take it. The Fakirs, I believe the Earth 1 favor is actively not such a great choice. Cool to have the dwarf player delaying a bit also, because that gives us a little more assurances we might be able to grab this when the time comes, after we get our temple. Actually, in retrospect, that's not true, because the dwarves weren't really going to compete for this action anyway. They would probably just be tunneling in this region, since the distance is naturally low. Let's see what favor he grabs. Is it in fact going to be the Earth 1? In this situation as Fakirs, I might give consideration to this Air 2 favor. The usual ones that I think are strong for them are Fire 1 and Air 2, but the Air Cult scores twice over the course of this game, so that should tip the balance. I don't know that it's necessarily enough for Fakirs to hit rank 4 inside the first round, though. That would leave them at a total of rank of 3. They would need some other way to boost it by 1. They didn't start on this bonus card, which is what I might have expected if they were aiming for a line like that. So they either didn't think this through enough from the start and picked the wrong bonus card, or they're only... Or they never had intention of looking at this favor. So either way, it's probably not going to happen. It looks less right now. I could still see the Fire 1 favor. Right, it's Fire doesn't pay any cult rewards anywhere here, but that's okay. It's a 1 favor anyway. You really take it for this 3 coin income, which will help them immensely as the game goes along. Well, they're really running the clock, thinking through which one they want. That's a bit surprising. The dwarves have really absorbed a ton of power. I know it, or they're going to, definitely, as this proceeds, right? Upgrades will almost certainly happen here and here. So what did they take? Oh, they did grab air too. That means I really don't like their starting choice. I think these workers are even a little less good for Fakir than... Okay, so we do not need to compete for this Earth 1 favor anymore. Fakirs have pulled themselves outside of that race. So if we're willing to burn 5 power tokens out of our pool, then we can go straight for this right now, then grab the temple over here, and then proceed to go back and build the dwellings. And we'll have 3 dwellings to build, because we'll have 3 workers after the temple upgrade. So I think I'm in favor of that, because it gives us easy builds here, here, and here. And then next round we'll have access to a priest via the income from our 1 temple. We can upgrade shipping and start heading in this direction. So that's, that really puts us off on the right foot here. Definitely the way we want to go. The worry is burning 5 power tokens already could cut us off of this double dig. But I don't know that we can postpone it. The halflings won't care about burning so many power tokens to use it. So I think we may well just have to take the plunge on that. And then rely on our increased worker income to get us there as it goes long, because we won't be able to take quite as many power actions. So let's do this. Burning 5 tokens. We can still double dig without completely filling our power bowl, so that's something. Now where do we want to double dig? We definitely need this tile. We could actually consider coming here already. No, we should not do that. We should take this one because the dwarves have immediate tunnel access. So we want these 2 points. That still gives us 3 sites to build. So here. And then this one. Now we're not going to build on any of them because we'll take 2 more points if we proceed to use to gain the Earth favor first. And I'm not overly worried about the dwarves doing some sort of insano malicious tunneling tech. It would be incredibly bad for them to expend that many resources, especially when they have free tunnels here. So, yeah, and no one else can even reach that far. It's not even inside carpet flight range for the fakirs. So, yeah, it's sort of a little bit nerve-wracking to leave things in this state for so many moves in the interim, but we'll get around to claiming these. And other peoples really do not have the right payoff structure to incentivize hating away the spaces we just terraformed. If the dwarves start heading up here, or heading east from here, we will need to look at securing this spot quickly. Just because the dwarves can terraform forests in a single move. But they have to get a good chunk closer before they're in range to that tile. So we're not too worried about it just yet. And if we grab the 1, then really we're good to build whatever sort of town we desire in this direction. I do like securing this placement for us a lot. I know we could build the town just coming up here without this one, but an advantage here is the dwarves are very, very likely to want this tile. It's a single terraform move for them, and then they can try to build a town in here. And that just lets us absorb some more power if we have more adjacencies in there. So let's see, what's gone on other turns. I think we've seen the halflings upgrade to a temple. They took the expected favor. Someone executed the single spade action. Indeed, it was coming up in this direction. I guess they want to do that before we can claim the extra power there. That makes large amounts of sense. And now they can free tunnel to this tile as well. Again, still looking a little bit nerve-wracking that we're leaving these open, but these players don't really have very good incentives. The dwarf player would have to pay 6 workers to terraform this. It's not even possible, and no one else can reach it. Because these actions are gone, and there's no bonus cards that do it. The fakirs would need even more. So really, we're quite secure. We'll just go ahead and take our temple. And then get access to the all-important Mermaid Favor Earthworm. Woohoo! There's been a good amount of action near us for us to absorb power. It's kind of hurt that we're in a late chair, so people have gotten to go before us. That results in a little bit less power leech since they get the trading post first, and then we have to upgrade into it after. But it's... From the game start circumstances, this has really gone about as well as we could hope, other than that it might be nice to have another power token or 2 floating in here. We'll make it. Ooh, really going for all the trading posts really quickly. Please, give me my power. Okay, I feel powerful. So we're gonna spam out all these dwellings. We'll take this one last because it's even more degrees of unthinkable that other players could take it away from us. And then we'll look and see what bonus card to pass on to. I imagine we're gonna want to go for the shipping point scoring card already, just because we know that we'll be looking to upgrade our shipping straight away on round 2 so we can get to this tile. And then from 2 shipping, straight away we can get to this tile. It's a lot of free access without terraforming. And we don't want to terraform if we don't have to. It definitely sucks spending spades needlessly. I'm a little interested what the Halflings player had in mind to do with that priest off the bonus card. Is he actually going to try and upgrade his digging capabilities for use of this on round 2? I mean, he will have access to 2 priests, one from the income and one from the bonus card he just claimed. But it is going to eat up 4 of his workers to make those digging upgrades. And he's really not in good shape to improve his income of workers. Right? He can execute the terraforming the hard way on this tile by playing 3 workers out now in order to build a dwelling and get 1 more income of them. But even that only gives him 3 workers for the next round unless he can pass on to a bonus card with them. There's really just no way to set up for this in time to capitalize on it. I mean, certainly we'll want to grab these actions for running that if possible. Oh, we have the double temple fakir start. That's pretty exciting. It makes sense you would grab Earth 2 here, even though it's not normally an awesome fakir favor, just because he's going to have only the one worker income otherwise for the next round. So he's going to have a bunch of trouble getting stuff that isn't priests in the near future. The fakirs have no resources to do anything. Even if we grant them power, I suppose it lets them take this money action. The dwarves are in similar shape. They will only be able to take this money action before passing out on power grants. So the question is, who do we want to put in better shape for taking that move? And I think the answer to that question is probably the dwarves, because it would be a big misuse of their power if they did that anyway. Right? They have 7 money incoming the next round, and just the 1 worker, and that's already a very lopsided resource allocation. No, on second thought, the dwarves have 4 power income heading to them. So we don't want to make bigger competitors for these dig actions. I guess there's no way to circumvent that. We're going to wind up passing later than everyone regardless. So it doesn't really matter. They'll all just bank their power. Let's give it to the, let's go ahead and give it to the fakirs just because the fakirs suck. That's as good a rationale as any, really. Alright, evil hamster. What have you got in store for us in those little cheap stores? We're definitely playing an opening that doesn't capitalize on this trading post bonus as much as other people's, but I'm completely fine with this. I really don't think there's it's reasonable to object there. We're just going to be getting so many more resources than people. Fakirs excluded since they have these. Is that even true, actually? They're going to get so many fewer dwellings. Yeah, we'll still get more resources than them. We'll be taking the most resources. It won't even be so bad for us on points, just because we're about to rack in this Earth 1 scoring. There's no time that's better to do it than another. Dwellings don't score on any round. Okay, people are passing already. It's nice to see the order they're passing here is kind of freeing up. We may have considered that card, actually. Money's the number 1 thing we're going to be hurting for in the next round. So our top 3 cards easily would have been this one, this one, this one. And 1's gone now. Crumb. That sucks. There goes another one we want. So I guess we're looking on this. It does have the most money on it, I say cheeky, but mostly I know we'll get the 6 points and the power can translate to money while other people fight for the spade actions because they score. I think we're in reasonable shape to do that. We can give the dwarves their power bonus now. They're past. We don't care about them taking that. So what are the halflings gonna do? Probably what makes the most sense is, yes, this insertion here gives them the highest rank spot on the cult that scores twice, and that scores immediately. It's a lot of reason for them to come after that one. So let us go ahead and build this final dwelling. We don't score for towns on any particular round, so rushing those sooner rather than later is a plus. And we already have 3 of the spots secured on this one. That's a big help. Evil Hamster has a surprising number of resources left. It would certainly be nice if we got to pass before him and not have to be last, but I'm not optimistic about that possibility. If the circumstances don't change and we don't absorb any power in what's happening here, which seems reasonably likely, no one's going to want to expand past us overly immediately, unless it's the Fakir's carpet flying to this tile so that they can then come here. That may give us some power. It would be nice if they did something like that, because we're going to take exactly 3 for the next round. Oh, interesting. The halflings are really going ham on priests. We can't garner any more rewards here, but maybe they'll steal away this Earth 3 spot since the Earth scores in the round after. Anyway, we are going to pass. We have nothing left to do here. and we'll take this card. It's the best at getting us points and money. But we're going to come up 1 power shy being able to take this without burning any power tokens. So it would be really nice if the Fakirs got it in their head to carpet fly here first thing. It's a totally reasonable line from their perspective, just because everyone wants to compete for the spade actions in the spade scoring round. So if they first pick that, they have to decide where to go, and the logical best place is actually here. Either that or here. One of those two. Because then in a single terraform and a single carpet flight, they can grab 2 spaces. So let's hope they pick here. It's kind of a bunch of ifs, right? They'll definitely have the power to go for these actions. They are going to get 5 power income just from their favors alone. But they may not choose the one of the 2 that we want. And, the dwarves are in line in front of them with plenty of power to take these actions also. So it's definitely not like some kind of perfect play that we can know is happening in advance. If we can't get this action, there's an argument to be made that rather than trying to upgrade shipping inefficiently and then build dwellings here also inefficiently, since we're just going to be converting workers to coins, which is not a happy deal, then we can look to upgrade some trading posts just to try and fix the monetary problem. But I'm a little less keen on that, just because we have this card. Right? We never really intended to gain tons and tons of points from this round scoring. All along, what we wanted was to get our points off of this, and founding 3 towns. And if we can do those things, then we can just call it a pretty reasonable position, I think. Okay. A halfling's passed onto this, which isn't going to score many points, but it's 2 workers. I suppose 2 workers makes sense when they're trying to spam dig actions. Alright, Evil Hamster, where are you headed? Kind of surprised to see that one. It's a triple terraform for the dwarves, and they can skip right past it. No, in retrospect, it makes sense. It just gives them 2 builds that they can take right away. So that's all well and good. Whereas this one could be competed against by the Fakirs, but it's not... it doesn't give them so many immediate rewards to take it. So, as predicted, these actions are going first thing. And we got the double dig. Dig here, and Great Tunnel here. So does Great Tunnel theoretically allows the dwarves to tunnel to this spot and steal it away from us? I doubt they're very interested in that. It seems unlikely. Also, Crumb, the Fakirs went the direction we were hoping they wouldn't. But, the dwarves have a lot of better spots to tunnel to, right? Like, they still have all of these that build without terraforms. This is a single terraform. This is. They can tunnel directly to here from their Great Tunnel. Lots and lots of places. I don't know why they would try and terraform this twice, and now they can't anymore either. So we have access to this. I think we would be insane not to grab it. Well, we can. It's far and away the highest value thing to us. So, money. Hey there, Illusion. Yeah, it's another stream. Turns out I do those sometimes. Fancy that. Nice to see you back, though. Alright, so if we were to go ahead and upgrade our shipping capability, we'd be left on 5 workers, 5 money. And I think we do want to upgrade shipping because we're on the right bonus card for it. Then we get 2 builds. Both of those will take 3 resources apiece. When our workers are high compared to our money, we don't really have to count the types so much because we know we can just spend workers down as coins as necessary. So we'll have 10 total after the shipping upgrade. This will spend 3. This will spend 3. The question is, what do we want to do with the final 4? We don't have any easy access to terraforming spaces. We will want to come here somewhat expediently so that we can build freely here straight after. The other alternative is coming here just so that we can get our town assembled in this region at max efficiency. Or actually, coming here, we can fill out a town this way too. I think with the remaining 4 resources, for 5 we could build a trading post. So if we just scrounge 1 coin out of our power bowls, that'll be excellent. We can build the trading post that goes a little bit of the distance towards fixing our money problems. So happy us. And it also situates us a little better for building another temple next round when it scores. Which is definitely a thing that it won't kill us at all to have another early favor. So let's go ahead and get our shipping upgraded. There's no reason to do the trading post upgrade first. We can figure out where after we've claimed these spots. Yeah, mermaids. I like them too. I like them because they feel like they play very aggressive and kind of in your face with other people. You're so mobile around the map in the early game compared to them. You start with a little more power. Obviously, having a strong early game in most games tends to snowball into being a powerful race overall. But which the mermaids are. But overall power level aside, I like this bully aesthetic. And also they have a very unique feeling, they have a pretty unique feeling play dynamic. They definitely do things no other race could ever think about doing. Yes, the best bonus tile with them. I'm going to be cheeky here and say, yep, it's the 6 coin one. It's in with them. I do actually think this one is about as good for them as the shipping scoring tile. But I have both, so super happy about that. There's a reason I played the mermaids. And I got them tied at 19 victory points with the halflings, which seems a little crazy to me. So I'm very, very happy about how things have gone here. Stronghold, actually that's a pretty smart line of play, taking this stronghold. Just because how else is he gonna come by spades in bulk on this round? It's definitely wise to do it in that sequencing. So now this is a single terraform away for the fakirs, so he needs to really, really be cautious and get built on here fast, because the fakirs would adore stealing this away. Okay, it's a very reasonable reaction to take it. I think leaving these up is pretty safe. The dwarves, they have easy tunnel targets in all sorts of places, and these take 3 terraforms for them to live on them. Their bonus dwelling is kind of neat too. Oh, you mean, yeah, the special faction tile, the coral reef. I agree. It's a very good design. Hats off to the designer that worked on the mermaids. Which is, of course, the same designer that worked on most of these races. But, you know, we'll excuse some of the bigger balance favors because you made the mermaids. Does suck to not be getting paid coins here and here by throwing our dudes on the Earth track. But it is what it is. maybe in the next round we can get our priest down on this 3 water space for 3 power, and it'll give us a free dig in this round and 2 coins in the round before. So that's kind of where I'm geared towards placing priests right now. My turn again. Okay, let's come over here now. Now the fakirs and halflings can't get any nefarious ideas. Not that I think they were super inclined that direction, but, you know, just in case. It does look like things are shaping up such that we can get 3 pretty easy towns. I'm not in too much worry about losing access to a town here. We'll have one up here, and one down here. And they'll be pretty easy to connect with shipping. We only need a single upgrade to make that happen. That can happen if we build our stronghold in the end grounds. It could also happen considerably sooner if we want to really farm this card, which we may well decide to do. So our primary point sources this game are going to be farming this card, our Earth 1 favor, and also 3 different towns. Halflings in the middle is ugly? I'm not sure I take your meaning. This right here, I'm quite happy about them being sandwiched in between, because I have no desire to compete anywhere in these spaces at all, really. Won't get a town. I'm sorry, you don't think I'm gonna get one? Oh, ugly for them. Yes, agreed. Their only line to try and make a town is to come up this direction, but dwarves will love tunneling there. Fakirs will love carpet flying here, because then they have this too in a single terraform. So they're gonna have all kinds of competition to found something here. All kinds. And we can just let everyone fight that out. I think it's a lovely spot for us. We'll wrap around the edges so that we can leech power and build cheaper trading posts. Yeah, agreed. Connection's gonna be a bitch for them, because I'm gonna come over here, and wrapping around this way is hard. And they certainly... It is an option for them to try and do it lower down, but that's not easy either. It's merely an option that exists. Okay, so we have 2 people who have passed already. We definitely want to try to outlast the fakirs so that we can steal away their money card, because money, 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 money. We're probably going to be alternating between these cards for most of the game, until the late game, where we might skip out and look at other scoring cards instead for lack of availability. I better win. Okay. I make no promises about scoring 200 plus, but yeah, I'll totally win it just for you, Illusion. I think that is definitely how the laws of the universe work. It's just the unspoken bond of trust between a streamer and her viewers, that if I pick their favorites, I better not screw it up in front of them, because they'll be doubly embarrassed to watch it. Alright, so what have fakirs got left? They could actually have quite a lot of resources, right? This is open to them, in which case they'll have 7 money and 3 workers. That does a lot. Unfortunately, they don't have anywhere to go unless they grab the priest action. I assessed it correctly, yes. Yeah. I get how stuff works. Okay. Oh, they're just straight up passing. That's interesting. I would have... I guess grabbing the priest, they can't even carpet fly here with the terraform anyway. I would have thought they would still take this before the pass, but, you know, whatever. Whatever. We didn't get any power leech. We are gonna have to give up this double dig forever. if we want to build a trading post here. But it's probably worth it to start getting that money. We may wind up terraforming this the hard way, and if that happens, it's maybe a reasonable outcome. It is going to be rough for us to found a town in here. We are going to need either the coral reef on one of these two tiles or a bridge in here. But there's not really any bridge factions we're playing against. We can get the bridge. Almost always give it up for something else. Yeah, well, we're about to. That's what's happening here. We're just going to have a lot of resources, and we're going to hope that gets us there. So, there we go. And now I can get a trading post. The question is where I want to put my trading post. I personally like moving 4 power fast. I can get behind that. Yeah, I usually wind up in situations like that quickly with the mermaids also. On my worst games, I've wound up with 3 power moving it fast, but we won't talk about those right now. We're just looking to get the quickest town we can. That may well be here. We're going to have to terraform spaces for a town no matter what direction we head in. If we come here, we can grab Sanctuary for the town and get a second favor working for us. I don't know how much I like that, though. We're not likely to leech a lot of power in this spot. I think ultimately I like this one, since it's a part of a town that we can form without overly much effort. I don't know that this one's actually going to be that straightforward and easy for us, though we will be heading here expediently, so it has that going for it. Darklings and Engineer. Yeah, it's pretty rough. I mean, it happens in the late game a lot, obviously. This feels like splitting hairs thinking for such a long time on such a fine-grained decision. But we're okay with that. So we're gonna get 6 workers in. 2 money plus this 8 money. Yeah, that's an appropriate ratio. Lets us build a temple and a trading post and still have a couple workers left over. Which, I think we may be interested in the second temple scoring us this water 1 favor. Just for max points. I think it's a little late in round 3 to be grabbing an income favor. Ease of towns with the mermaids. Like, I'll have to use it in top center board. You mean right around here? I think I'm gonna need my coral reef here if I in fact use it anywhere. Or are you not talking about my coral reef? Ultimately, I think I'm coming down on liking... Yeah, I think this trading post... We'll have 5 here very quickly. The Sanctuary gives us Fire 2 straight off. We'll grab this one, even though it's a lower power leaf one. I think it'll give us a faster town when the time comes for that. Burned a lot of our clock thinking. Oh, the town key. The top center one. Nothing left to do here, so we're passing. With 6 points, too. We are tied in the point lead, even though we bid the most already. Actually, we could contemplate this bonus card. No, it won't help us immediately. I suppose I don't really see the point in that. Give me money. Love that money. Forgot we took an extra coin because we are rank 1 on the Earth track. Lucky us. I think the most likely town keys we'll be chasing are probably this money one. That's probably what we'll be after. Darkling's good in this setup. Yes, if you care to ever watch the VOD on this later, we spent a great deal of time in the beginning sitting with dwarves, fakirs, and then mermaids picked out, and contemplating how we were going to bid relatively between mermaids and darklings if the darklings got picked. I agree, I like the setup for them because it's very difficult without dwelling scorings in these, and with the least spammable stronghold and sanctuary scorings at the end, to get a ton of points off of this. So just a race that comes packed with their own point generation mechanic is definitely good here. I think that might have actually been what tipped some opponents in favor of dwarves and fakirs. They also come with strong point generation mechanics. Okay, we have no power for any power actions. You like the scoring timings, that's interesting. I'm a little uncertain. How so? You know, everyone will register once on the trading post, so that's no better for them. When it comes to speed scoring, 1 is going to be about the average on round 2. And that's the priest plus 2 bonus coin. Yeah, I'm even less certain about that because they'll need to invest their priests for spades in the round before. I'm really not sure that I agree with you that these scorings are any better for them than anyone else, except insofar as the darklings like it when it's hard for everyone to get points. Alright, using spades. So he took the double dig. Where is his other... a plausible course might be to dig this space. That would be nice for us, just because it's a lot of power income when they finally build it. I don't know that they could also build this plains tile. That's a single digs action for them too. But what they're wanting to do ideally is just start carpet flying between deserts without worrying about terraforming at all. That's kind of the fakir dream. Just get down the flight school, carpet fly between all the deserts, terraform nothing, and just get all the points that way. But that's pretty hard to do until you can increase your carpet fly range a single tick. So they'll usually be looking for a fast town to do that via this tile. That's the only way they can up their carpet fly range without building a stronghold, which is abnormally expensive for them. Woohoo! We'll take the power, we love it. Our turn for an action. Okay, so we can definitely look at getting a second temple because it scores. We'll have lots of priests coming in if we do this. Other things we can think about. We do want to invest our priests in the cult track to get paid right now. Ideally in the water one, because that gives us access to this bonus in the round after. I don't really have anything else to earmark that priest for, but since we're not throwing it down in fire, there's no rush to invest the priest. So we can wait on that. We can wait on the temple upgrade too, because there's still 3 copies left of both favor tiles that we are considering. We'd be looking at to water 1 or fire 2. Now if we take water 1, then we can gain 3 power via cult advancements this round. That does get us close to being able to nab this action. Probably not close enough, but with a little power leech, like if the dwarves decided to up this into a temple for the round scoring, we could make it off of that. And then we could cash this, and that would let us get even farther. Hey Deluxe, good to see you back again. Yeah, no town bonuses, really poor overall scoring bonuses for every faction. First round was trading posts, and then spades, and there's no dwelling scoring the whole way through, and then the least spammable scoring options in the end. So that's why we're pretty happy to jump on a faction that has other point generation mechanisms. Notably, we're looking big at this one with the Mermaids. I think I like leaving open the possibility of grabbing this. Dwarves certainly could take it. They have the power, but surely no desire. Like I called out on turn 1, they gave themselves far too much money income, and it shows here with all that banked money. Halflings could take it away. It would be somewhat costly to them. Yeah, let's go ahead and leave that option open. So we're gonna go ahead and grab ourselves a temple. And now we'll have lots and lots of priests in the rounds to come, so maybe we can enjoy these while still upping shipping. Since we're building a trading post, and this gives us the possibility to take this action and do more the same turn, we definitely want this one. I've talked myself into it. It's possible in round 5 we'll upgrade a sanctuary and then grab this fire to favor, and then immediately start reaping all of its benefits as towns come into existence. Engineers good for natural points production. This is true. It's almost like we're just naming off the factions that are good with no qualifiers. Darklings, Mermaids, Engineers, that's many people's top 3. But yeah, certainly I agree. It actually would have been a pretty good Engineers route. That was my first remark when I saw everything in front of me, right? Engineers are very well situated to take 2 ticks of the trading post upgrade in round 1. And they don't usually want their stronghold till round 4 or 5 anyway. And they usually never want their sanctuary until really late game. Oh, we got the power. As predicted, right through here. I even called the spot. So now when we jam our priest right here to become a water cultist, we're gonna max out the power meter, and then we can cash this without having to throw away all of our precious power tokens. So I am really averse to throwing away those power tokens just to compete one action sooner, though. I don't know that the halflings are going to be overly focused on taking this one here. They probably should be if they think about their next round, so they may well cut it from us. It's a possibility. Fakirs won't, and dwarves certainly won't. But I think we can risk it. It's okay. We'll figure something else out if this disappears. It does give us a use for our last couple resources at the end, just by taking this to terraform here and build a dwelling. So we have a backup either way. It's all good. But we will do this now so that we can compete on this as our very next move, whichever one we wind up going for. Oh, whoopsie. No, I don't want to use... I could convert a coin here just to be capable of accepting additional power. But I don't know that it's... We may get it. The dwarves may choose to upgrade this, though that seems a... I think It will slow us down a chunk in getting to these later. But it may be worth it. There's also the fakirs certainly have outs to try and build here and here. I think we want to convert that coin so that we are capable of accepting power. Give us 1 money. Also, it's nice to be able to really be winning a cult track. I would much rather be winning some cult tracks and absolutely tanking others than being in the middle on all of them. If you just think about the scoring, this is not, it's higher payout to have highs and lows than all middle values, because you get an extra, the scoring does not go 0, 2, 4, and 6. It's not a linear ranking on the cult payouts. It's 0, 2, 4, 8. It's a little top heavy. You're compensated extra for being first. We did get our power. Super happy about that. This action disappeared, and we are super ecstatic to be accepting money. Yay, money. This is going to be more money than I can spend this turn, but that's fine. We'll just be running out of money continuously. We'll need it the next turn. So am I 900 ELO yet? That has never been achieved on Board Game Arena. So I'm going to go with yes. $8.99, you caught me. Too observant a viewer for my tastes. Alright, so we could grab 2 trading posts here, but that's probably not wise because trading post scoring happens next round. We could grab trading post temple if we wanted to be, reaping these 4 points again. Then the priest will fly in like mad. We can take another favor if we do that. I would have to think about which favor we would actually be looking for. It may well be the case that's the timing we take fire to. That's probably right. Oh, we got even more power. Goody us. Okay, so I can't upgrade things more in this town. I can over here, and this is the next town I want to focus on completing, just because these two are closest to forming. We will have to be careful, though. If the dwarves tunnel here, which they can do from their great tunnel, this is a single terraform move for them, and they have a lot of incentive to come here because it's adjacent to a mountain. So we just gotta watch ourselves and say, when the dwarves are starting to look like they might want to come here, we need to be ready to grab this quickly as a cutoff. Otherwise, we're not getting the town in here. But what do right now? I don't want to throw away resources for inefficient terraforms. I prefer to try and grab this next round and take that space for 2 buildings. So I think we are looking, there's nothing better to do than get our trading post. So I think we will go a trading post into temple, as crazy as that sounds. We're gonna have all the priests. Actually, let's do the math on that. We'll take 3 priests for round 4. 6 for this round, and then 9 by end of game. So that overspends by 3. We'll need to spend 3 priests on other things. That shouldn't be too hard to do. Other things that aren't cults. We'll want shipping upgrades probably, and we can spend priests as workers. So no worries with that. Yeah, I'm gonna upgrade here. There is a line where we pass on a ton of resources. I don't like it when we can be farming money. We always need more mermaid money. Throwing away resources is your strategy. Solid plan. Maybe. I don't know. You can evaluate for yourself how that's working out for you. I need to get this really, really quickly. The dwarf player would certainly look to tunnel to one of these spaces in order to connect up his region. It's the easiest way to do it by far, and if I don't get this one, I'm gonna be a sad mermaid. I guess I can come over here and make a full town this way. Yes, give me that power. Okay, lots of power for the dwarves. That actually gives us some incentive to try and pass first, just so we can take the single dig action next round, before he gets a move. But we might not even have power to take that next round, unless we grab this card, which is a card we're happy to take. So we'll take our 4 power income that does put us in position to burn a power token and single dig here before anything terrible happens to us. And let's not let terrible things happen to us. Secure pass, it's to me. It's cool. I wasn't all that enthused about trying to get the 3rd temple down. So we're happy to pass before the dwarves and make sure we grab this. That's just too important to us. It's going to give us a lot of resources for the next round. 12 money, 7 workers. Cool. Sounds like a sweet deal. Sorry, 14 money because we spent a cultist here. 14 money and 7 workers. Does that get us to town number 1? It may well. But clearly we're looking to grab this tile very first action. We can think about what comes after that later. 3rd temple would be fun. It would be a madhouse trying to spend priests that fast. So far, keeping the evil hamster in check, doing comparably to them points-wise. Coming here also means almost certainly we'll accept power from the dwarves as they come here later. Because I can't imagine them not trying to connect through this route. It's so much simpler than alternatives. Okay, maybe we aren't winning this cult. Oh well, we'll deal. We'll figure this out. We have a reasonably good foundation here. It's interesting to wonder if we want a premature sanctuary before it scores, just so we can make this a whole town. I don't think that's the line. I think I'm just going to want to leave this as temple dwelling, and then on round 5 we'll upgrade this to sanctuary for 5 points. We'll score the fire 2 tile, and we'll have maybe we'll even instantly score this town. What kind of bad doings do you think an evil hamster could do? Let's see. They could aggressively nibble through the entire world's carrot supply, or lettuce, or cabbage. They could, I could imagine a hamster distracting all the security guards for a heist operation by doing their cute licking at the water feeder motion. There's also certainly the theory, like, all female viewers will be well aware that a woman's purse is really a bag of holding inside, and it may well be true with a hamster's cheeks. I don't really necessarily believe that they're not just cramming infinite amounts of material in there. Yeah, definitely don't trust an evil hamster. It is indeed pretty evil stuff. Okay. So, this was transformed the hard way. That's a really interesting course of action from this player. I don't know why he would do that when he has enough power open for the double dig option, and he doesn't need to conserve it for a very big imbalance between the two types of resources. So very, very strange. It's cool that we now have access to this without burning any more power tokens. We would have burned for it anyway, but, always nice when we don't have to. Unfortunate we can't jam 2 priests in here to hit threshold 8 on this cult. But maybe we can get up to 7, and I don't really see any other way we're getting another. Okay, to here we go. It's mine. Now we could build 3 trading posts right now, just for all the scoring. We'd be pretty happy with that. You'll note that, of course, the trading post scoring would have scored higher for us this round than the shipping one, but that seems fine. Because the trading post scoring did not give us the power to take this dig action, and we desperately needed the dig action. No compromise on that. I think I do like the build all the trading posts plan. I can build, I'll have only 3 worker income, but a good amount of money, and I will be well situated for, we could actually make it 4 worker income just by building this dwelling at the end of the round, using a priest as a worker. That's probably the right course of action, given that we can't invest further priests here in order to win more copies of this bonus. Priests would probably get started investing in air, in preference. You like my trading post line. Okay, but you're going to take the trading bonus tile with the worker. I'm a bit confused by what you mean with the worker. Yes, this. Okay, because it also has a worker on it. Yep. That is certainly where we're headed if we can get that to happen. But it requires the fakirs to pass before us. And then, which isn't hard, we have a lot of actions to take here, but it requires other people to not steal that before we do. It's plausible that the pass order is dwarves, fakirs, mermaids, halflings, just on available numbers of resources, and if they fall in that order, we will have first take at the fakir card. Halflings still haven't upgraded their digging capability. That's a sad time to be a halfling. He doesn't even have priests to do it. Really sad time to be a halfling, because that's almost all of what the halflings have going for them. But like we called out from the game start, we thought the halflings were getting overbid. I did not believe they were any particular level of strength here. I think we want to upgrade this action first, just so that if the fakirs build trading posts, we can leech more power from that. And we're going to wind up upgrading this anyhow. So it's only a question of sequencing. We're going to give all the people the same amount of power, no matter what. Alright. Lots and lots of points coming in. We're going to get 6 for each of these, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. If I gave you 10 points, you'd play the halflings over mermaids. I would be very happy to get, if everyone was starting at 30 points, I'd be pretty happy to play mermaids for 20 on this board. In that spread of 30, 30, 30, and then me at 20 for mermaids, I think the dwarves would be the race I was most worried about. I guess the point I'm sort of dancing around and not making very eloquently is that on this lie of the cards, I do in fact believe that the mermaids are worth more than 10 points, more than halflings. You don't like them that much. Yeah. I feel you. Definitely. They're a little bit linear in the game plans that they can play. Next one we'll upgrade will be this one. Just because, again, potential to leech the most power out of possible trading post upgrades. Well, we didn't quite make it in time to get from there. But that's why we upgraded this first. Yeah. Power me up. I love it. Okay, let's get another trading house. Fakirs are decent. Yeah. Like I said, this was a board where I was going to look to mermaids or any race with a natural point generation mechanism. And engineers were my top pick, but they were cut off by someone selecting dwarves. Do I need to compete on any of these cult sequencings? Is it important that I grab this sooner rather than later? That is a possibility. It's gonna stink to have this many trading posts lodged in the one town, because I ideally, if I'm gonna take the Fire 2 favor, I want to get 6 points of 6 levels of buildings, 6 and 6 down here too. And that'll turn this into 7 once I dig the last space. So maybe I don't get the Fire 2 favor. Maybe we're looking at Air 1. It could be worth like 7 points in that situation in the end game. But I'm not paying extra to upgrade this until the dwarves come here. We'll start here because it's in a different town. We'll hope that the dwarves choose to tunnel to this space soon, because we would like to upgrade this to a trading post in preference to this. Did I get a chance to check out Gaia Project or Tichu? I did not. I'll have a look at those over the weekend. Now that you're pressing on me on it, that's a promise. I will take a look at the rules of those. But I've been quite busy at work the early part of this week. Sorry about that. Did work release the evil hand? You're not supposed to know about those. Play nice, Illusion. I'm watching you. Come on, dwarves. You can do it. Tunnel for... Oh, wait, no. Actually, I don't think they can do it. Not without some really bad trades that involve burning power and turning priests into workers. Okay, you could do it, but it would be kind of... it's a little dubious whether you will, coming here right now. Illusion, I'm not even gonna touch that one. You do you. live life with whatever labels you choose for yourself. It is nice that we can take the stronghold as part of this town. Still a little annoying that we're going to need a spade in order to place the coral reef. We don't have great access to those ever since we cut ourselves off this. There's no bonus card spading. Spades are really the most limited resource for us for the time being. Okay, so I could go ahead and upgrade this into a trading post, but as stated, I don't want to. I want to have access to upgrade this one instead. Since we're planning to build a dwelling and a trading post still, I'm going to build the dwelling first and just leave myself a little bit more room on that. Still have a good amount of work to get done in the end rounds, for sure, but I like our position. Definitely a good looking spot. Okay, dwarves have gone up on the water track, makes sense, they want to hit this spade. Where will we be using that spade is an interesting question. The most obvious location would be here, just because it allows us to complete this town inside the same round as building the sanctuary to make this a town. I think that's a reasonable course of action. The other option is here, because this is a critical space for us to take if we want to make this town. But I'm still not overly worried about fakirs taking it away from us. This is 3 spaces for them to terraform. That's going to be rough for them, and the dwarves, it's only 1 terraform if they jump here and then come there, but they have to make that terraform first. So I definitely like completing out this town first. I mean, we can, in preference to taking this one, we can build here. That's probably a reasonable idea. Just because, theoretically, fakirs could choose to build here and then carpet fly there in a single move. But I don't think they're going to want that for themselves, because it's much easier to just get the town first than use added carpet flight range. Alright, how much power is coming in this round? I'm going to take in 6. That's as much as I can store right now. So if I accept this, that means I am converting a coin. Do I want, in order to be able to take all the incoming power? So we have to wonder to ourselves, do I want to lose a point for a coin? We're still in round 4. I think probably. Yep, that sounds right. Sign me up. Okay, I have to take an action. At this point, I don't have any other choices beyond using this one. So it stinks, and we will nonetheless do it. Not interested in grabbing this bit of power for advance. Oh, the option is closed to me. Never mind. Okay, well, I can still delay on upgrading the trading post by advancing on the air track in preparation for the round 5 bonus. So let's go ahead and do that. It's also nice we are, in fact, not just gaining a bonus, but getting ahead of someone on a cult. Good to be getting the 2-for-1. We get the best on that on fire, but we're going to need our bonuses. We have a lot of work to do. Okay, 1 action left for the round for us, and it's, I'll always good to be in a cult. It is one way to procure a sense of belonging. I will say that. Even more power. Do we want to pay out, we can pay out, I guess this is just another point for a coin. Because we are not interested in burning power yet to prematurely build the bridge. I think, so if I do accept this one, it's actually 2 coins for my point. No, it's a single one. I lied. Or is that right? Well, there'll be 2 in this bowl and 3 in the top bowl. I'll spend 2 of them down as coins. Then I can accept a total incoming power of 6. That's what I have available. Okay, so it is 1 coin. Got it right the first time. I think we're gonna want it because we're looking to pass on to this trading post card and not the money card this time. So we're gonna need the money help, especially because we're using our power for the spade. Yes, please give me more money. You run the conversions first. I need 2 of those spent as coins. Sorry, also need a priest spent as a worker. And then let's go ahead and build this trading post. We are going to pass here with a pretty sizable point sum compared to our opponents. I suppose no, the Fakirs are going to get 6 on pass. That's the same as us. But the Fakirs are last in points currently. It would be very kind if the Fakirs would pass here, but I don't know that that's about to happen. If it doesn't happen, I think we're going back to our friend the money. Greedy with my money. Yeah, that accurate. I think it's pretty justifiable though. If I take too much money, all it's gonna mean is in the end I don't have to grab this town pile. I can take a different higher scoring one instead. Right? Like, I'll get the points back that I spent out on the power actions. Or accepting the power, that is. Okay. I am done here. Nothing else to do. Choosing my bonus card. Money, money, money. This is going to give me a total of 17 money, is that right? Okay, you're right. Maybe I am a little greedy with my money. It's okay though, because I am gonna pay it out in very quick order, right? This is gonna get upgraded to a sanctuary on this round. Procuring the Fire 2 favor. That's like half the money gone right there. And then I can even up and have a total of 9 money and 2 workers by grabbing this town tile. Not a huge rush on the... I guess there is a large rush on this multi-worker scoring. I think I can probably do without a Fire 2. I have an easy 7 build here now that I was forced to upgrade this to Trading Post. You would be scared to, the Alchemists they're my favorite race. I think they're the one I play the best. There is a video on this stream account of me playing the Alchemist, so you can make up your own mind if you are impressed with that or not. Dwarf's player still thinking. So he's... he has plenty of trading posts. And has all game, in fact, given his particularly bizarre opener of triple trading post. So it makes ample sense for him to get on this. He's been short workers more than money, and he has the trading posts, so we can expect that. Greed and evil... evil hamsters. I'll have you know I'm a very good girl. And that is a fact. Nor am I a hamster. I'm not quite sure if I'm being accused of these things or not. But I'm going to act as if I am. So there. We do have the option to consider Stronghold over Sanctuary. If we want to go that route, it doesn't immediately give us a town, though. So it will actually just end our turn. And that sucks. We don't want to just end our turn. I can grab either one of these. It seems very safe to take this one. It's a triple terraform for Fakirs, and Fakirs do not get to spend any spades in here to this cult bonus. So I can just grab this and leave myself more space to throw down random dwellings for a largest network in the end. Hey, Necro Daddy. Okay, sounds like I've got a train of people on me to try Gaia Project. So I have not. Earlier in stream, I admitted I had not. But I also promised to try it out over the weekend. So by my next Monday stream, I will have looked into Gaia Project. I don't promise to have actually played it, but I will peer through the rules. Maybe I'll play. We'll see. Depends what I think. I'll be excited to let you all know what I think. Based on your descriptions before, it sounds like it may be a pretty cool game. I know how to play 90%. Wow, that's a high percent. Okay. I'll, just play it like I'm playing Space Mermaids. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize the game had support for playing as a solo option. Because Terra Mystica sure doesn't. I think I need to race to this 2-worker town tile right now before I get competed out of it. Because the Fakirs are lined up to build their town. Oh, but the Fakirs are obviously going to take the carpet ride distance increase. The one true way of Fakirs. So are there any towns threatening to... I think I need to take it anyway, just on the logic that if I don't, I won't be able to build a sanctuary this turn, or a stronghold, without it just ending the turn flat. But there's not a particular rush to do it, so I can spend a power action first. I almost certainly want to do that. I have tons of money. I think the line that we're interested in is using a spade terraform right here. Because as much as we want to gain these workers, we can get workers other ways, and that is not a true statement of our digs. Our digs are precious resources. We're gonna need it when we can grab it. So let's terraform this, then we'll have all the spaces we need to form our full towns. Notably, I am not building here, and the reason is that if I chose to build, I wouldn't have the resources to go sanctuary into the town key I want. Oh, that's a bit of a shame, Illusion. Have you tried getting a cult? I hear that's a good way to attain a sense of belonging. Maybe you can find one for board games. Twitch mods, I do not actually recommend this. Alright, so it's going to be Sanctuary next, claiming this town tile before anyone else does. Then we can look to go Dwelling with the extra 2 workers. And that will found another town here. So we can chain out a lot. And then there's no rush to make the stronghold happen here. We can do that in the next round. There are a lot of games with solo options. I know last stream, Illusion pressed me to run down some of my top games, and Gloomhaven and Spirit Island both are playable games solo. Your cult is about... Yep, I agree with you. I think that was a short-sighted choice of cult. Sorry. Just think, what if you had chosen the cult of togetherness? You would have so many more people to play board games with. Or really the cult of anything else that you wanted. This is a lot of points to lose. It's also a lot of power to gain. I don't know how excited I am by this possibility. I think it's late enough that we don't want to take that hit. We only need one more spade. But we do need one more spade in order to drop a coral reef somewhere in here. Besides that, the rest of our resources are just getting tossed into winning the biggest network size we can. I bet we can get our spade without. We have 6 power income coming. That's actually already enough power to take this move in the final round. I don't know if it'll be available to us. It may well not. I think I'm going to turn this down. It's just too many points to lose. Illusion, that is my strategy for, what you describe as my strategy for learning new games. It's how I taught myself to play Seven Wonders. It is how I taught myself to play Terra Mystica. My roommate kind of laughed at me while I sat there playing 4 groups all at once, just so I could see how the interactions work. I think it's really good to think of the problem from both sides while learning. And glad to hear I have yet another another viewer that is interested in some of these same games. That's really cool, Mecrodaddy. Maybe at some point I can see about streaming one of those, but right now I'm on the Terra Mystica path, the war path. Lots of good games in the world. So of the ones you just listed, Wingspan is another game I love. At the zoo, I always get really enthusiastic whenever I can identify a bird because I played Wingspan. Played it a little too much, perhaps. Oh no, the town tile I was looking for went away. That's not happy. Did the Fakir player take it? He did. So I called him out as the only one who had access to getting a town in one move, which was correct, but it was unthinkable to me that he would not grab the carpet flight range increase. I think he will regret that. I think we will regret that too. That he decided to do this. I think he made it bad for both of us, good for halflings and dwarfs. Oh yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that. It was really naive of me to parse "hi, good luck" as a gesture of good faith. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and finish our towns now. Because the dwarves player still hasn't made moves to connect, I'm still leery of taking this when I could just go ahead and grab that and form the instant towns. We're picking this one over this one just because I don't know if the dwarf player wants to pay this many points. Whereas he could conceivably be quite happy to gain 2 power for 1 point. That's a much better ratio than 3 for 4. I can found a town. I will found a town. So we're going to go ahead and take this one because it has 1 worker on it. Not 2. Or there is an alternative world where we push up 1 on all the cults. I do not believe that's the world we want to live in. Farewell, cool cult bump world. Okay. In it goes. Lock it in. No conversions for me, thank you. I do have to admit, Necrodaddy, I've never been involved with Clank in Space at all, but I have played the base set Clank game, and I'm not a particularly large fan of it. I think there's sort of 2 styles of pervasive deck building games. There's the, I tend to label them by the biggest game in both genres. So there's the Dominion style versus the Ascension style. And this sounds like a very small difference, but the theory I keep parroting to everyone who will listen is that it's actually really severe in implication. And I do believe that firmly. The difference is that... nope, this is too many points to lose. So the difference is that in Dominion, all the games that take after it, the cards that are available for purchase are set up at game start for you, and everyone can buy them whatever. There may be a first come first serve dynamic, but there's never any chance dart throwing about when they're available for purchase. Whereas Clank falls into the Ascension camp, which is the style I really don't like, where there's a rotating queue of cards that are open for purchase. And that works fine in theory, but where you run into trouble in practice is that in the Ascension camp of games, if the balance on your cards is not very precise, then you will have conferred a very large advantage to the player who just happens to flip over the really busted card for purchase on their turn. And unfortunately, I don't think base set Clank, I don't know about Clank in Space, but I don't think base set Clank has good balance whatsoever between its cards. And so there's really extreme advantages conferred to the players that just happen to flip over the draw 3 card, or the Wand of Wind is the other one, or whatever the teleporty wand is. Alright, we're going to spend a priest as a worker, and let's go ahead and found yet another town. Actually, there's not a lot of competition on that. Are we super desperate for any town tiles that are going to disappear on us? So, as I foresee it. There's some possibility. The dwarf player's at 6 power here. But he's unable to upgrade either building. He can't make this into a town without a bridge. So he can't steal our town. The halfling's player does not possess the needed favor, so he would need to acquire an additional favor and to lay in his bridge here. And the fakirs are just light years from another town. So we don't have to worry about our town tiles going away, but we do have to worry about this spot going away. And we would love to secure that we are in fact ahead of dwarves on this cult, and also get another worker for the next round. So I'm going to go ahead and take that right now. And then we can build this dwelling after the fact. Let's reset these conversions. We don't want to telegraph to anyone what's up. Okay. Yeah, if you're taking that attitude about the game, then I agree, Clank is really fun. You know, it definitely has one of the niftier themings of all the deck building games out there. Evil Hamster, RFTG. Is RFTG Race for the Galaxy Deluxe? Ooh, oh, now we finally have the means to upgrade this into a trading post far later than we wanted it. Kind of a shame, but whatever. Evil Hamster, we've already established, is a very nefarious hamster, so I don't know if I can, in good consciousness, hope for him to take second. Or her. Let's not be sexist about this. There can definitely be plenty of female evil hamsters in the world. It's really a terrifying thought, actually. You could have evil male and female hamsters breeding to make the super evil hamster babies. And it could be happening without us even noticing. They could just fit all those hamster babies inside their cheeks. Illusion, I think RFTG is a Race for the Galaxy. Yeah, there, Deluxe confirms. I agree with both of you. It's a very good game. At its best, 1 versus 1. And yeah, one of its nicest selling points is how fast you can play around. I personally tend to enjoy long games, but I know not everyone does, and you just don't always have time for them. Alright, so we're gonna get this this priest and 9 points action, I think. Because if I retain extra priests, I can jam them in these fire slots before other people have a pass at it. This town tile is usually appreciably better than just the 11.1. And honestly, we're probably going to want both. And if we're going to want both, we want to take the one that gives us an intermediate resource first, because just points won't do. You know, they don't work for us at all until the end game. We'll run the conversion so that we can build this dwelling. Okay, next action is going to be coming down over here on this dwelling, and then we're probably passing the turn after that. So tons and tons of points for Mermaids, though it's a little fake because we know they're all going to get some points for passing. Not the Fakirs, though. And actually the Fakirs are less far behind us than everyone else. Well, I can certainly think of arguments why you might prefer the 5 30-minute games. If you're a bit competitive, you may sort of care about the sample size protection. It's possible also that your group has shifting people at a party, as people leave to dance or get drunk or whatever else people are doing at parties besides board games. But if your player base is shifting, you need to accommodate entry and exit points. There are definitely good reasons, but I'm with you in principle that the 3+ hour game is often an excellent choice. I'm not going to hold that over your head. We've established that you have a cult already, okay? So I don't know. Maybe you can shift your doctrine a little. On the next round, something we would want to take as a very high priority is this 4 power for 1 spade action, so that we can drop the coral reef anywhere in here. Because we're going to need that to connect this all up. Either that or a bridge, but we're not about the bridge life. We want to try and win the largest network. It's slowing us down to build bridges when we could build coral reefs. Who are we waiting on? We are waiting on the Fakir's player, who was coming up with progressively less to do because he was a fool and cut away our 2-worker town tile when he could have had increased carpet flight range, which would enable him to go everywhere on the map. It looks like the dwarf player is not coming through this connection, which, more power to him. Looks like he's probably going to go this route. Tunnel here, tunnel here, tunnel here. Just based on how he's dropped the parts in. You fool. Oh, you're talking about the Fakirs. I hope you're talking about them. So we don't have any ability to upgrade trading posts, but we also don't really have a strong incentive to upgrade trading posts when we can be spamming dwellings. I suppose we'll reclaim a trading post after we place our stronghold here. And we haven't been in a rush to get the stronghold, which is proper. We need the 3rd shipping to connect, and so that we can spam dwellings in these tiles. But there hasn't been a lot of incentive. So can halflings connect? Can they win area? I'm not sure that they can. The halflings are going to run into a situation where they're very, very capped on money for the next turn, and they won't be able to build more dwellings. Right? Like, they can definitely dig. They actually haven't even upgraded their digs all the way. So I'm not... I don't think I agree with you that the halflings are in the best position to win area, even if we spot them a free connection. Just magically, they have infinite shipping now. They're connected. I still don't think they're going to defeat me on area size, because I've got some easy buildings to build and the economy to do it, and they don't have those things. As for halfling shipping, it was stated they need 2 more. So now let's look at the problem of them connecting. If they had 3 shipping, if they had 2 shipping, it's theoretically possible with some enormous chain of things it's totally unrealistic. But what about 3 shipping? They could come here, here, and here. They would need all 4 to connect. They can also look to go around this direction. Build here, build here. These are both single terraform tiles for the halflings, and with 3 shipping they could take both of those and be connected. It could definitely happen. I'm not going to make any particular efforts to block them because we have a massive point lead on them and it's hard enough for them to do. Definitely want to spend our priest to get an extra worker for the next round, so we will convert. Convert away. Now, we have more things that we can do, but it's not clear that that's what we want to do. No special incentives to send the priest off right now. We'd be sending him in the fire cult, certainly, because we stand to win. That's only 1 power, and we're already hitting our power limit. Actually going past our power limit since we're going to aim for this shipping bonus card. We could well take the halflings bonus card. We'd be quite happy with that one too. Okay, so halflings have gone and upped shipping. They have gone and taken this space. So their next, if they single terraform this spot, which they can do next round first action if they want, then they'll So we actually have an interesting proposal here. If we accept this power, we will have the option to make a worker by blowing up one of our power tokens. And then will we... No, we will not be able to upgrade shipping and then build a dwelling here, which is where we'd aim to do it. We would still be short power at that point. So I think... Do we want this? We probably don't. Yes, Illusion, you're correct. Halflings have not taken advantage of their special tile. If I'm being frank, I think their special tile is usually pretty bad. It's, Let me think about this first. I think I want to fast pass onto this scoring card. Or the halflings one if they pass before me, which they probably will. Yeah, I don't really need to lose these points. Oh no, it's my move next. Okay, so what happens if I send a priest here just for the sake of staying live to take the halfling's bonus card? I don't think that's a desirable outcome. Just because we also next round want to be competing for this action. We would be very happy to get that. So I think, especially given the existence of only one other priest, they could clog me off this. It is worth decent points to fight here on this track. It may be the case that it's right to grab it, but we do risk this action following through. Is there already risk that, yes, the Fakirs could easily cut us off to it if they wanted to? I don't know if they will. How much power are they receiving? A lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 total power. So they'll have access to the double dig action, if that's how they want to to play this. What happens if we lose access to this bonus card? So we're not going to lose it via dwarves. They have more tunneling to do securing their spots. Yes, they'll definitely need the worker income. So they're not passing. So we will get one of these two. I think the halflings are never going to use this, probably. I think when they could upgrade their digging again, and then take this power action. So it's not too bad to be behind them in the sequence order. So I think we are going to live a bit and send the priest off this round. Okay. Yeah, so yes, you're correct. The halfling driller does require using their stronghold, having their stronghold in play first. The other thing about it is digs tend to come so cheap for halflings, they don't care that much. I think this is a bit of a sad appraisal of the tile, but my honest assessment of it is that its best use is so that in the middle of a round 4 digging spree, they can place a building to extend the range of where they can dig, just to make sure that they have enough spots to keep digging in their dig combo. And the reason you would want to do that is that if you build any other dwelling, you have to spend these workers to do it, and those workers, of course, could be turned into 3 points on the spading round. Whereas this you can build for free if you already have a stronghold. So that's my favorite way to use the tile. It definitely comes up that you use it for its discounted terraforming effect, but that tends to be a minor player. Alright, so I am expecting to see a halfling pass here, and then we'll go ahead and grab this card. Yep, that's happening. I know we get paid slightly more point-wise to grab this shipping thing instead, but it evens out because other people get paid less to take this card. Like, little enough the halflings didn't even want it, which is surprising given that I'm assuming they're maxing their shipping. But whatever. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Really don't look a gift horse too hard in too many parts. Because them horses they can spit, they can smell, they can have parasites. How much power are we taking in? 6. Can we hold it? We can hold 5 of it, so we're not gonna convert... No, I think actually we will convert a coin. Because we can't spend power in units of 5 anyway, so it's a-okay. So I have to burn a power token taking this on the next round. Right? If I spend this down, then we'll... Yes, so we'll end with 4 here and 1 there. Okay. So let's convert. Give me that coin. It's good. I'm definitely going to need the coins. And then I will pass. For me. That went over your head. The don't look a gift horse in the mouth. So there's some context on that phrase that a lot of people haven't heard. So a horse was, of course, a more feasible thing to gift someone back in the ye olden days. Because the, well, I shouldn't have to explain why. So if you are gifted a horse, why would you look it in a mouth? Well, actually, it turns out looking at a horse's mouth is one of the best ways, without fancy medical equipment, to assess how healthy the horse is. And I can't give you a lot of details on why that's the case, I'm sorry, but it is true. So so the saying is really telling you don't, if you're given a gift, don't immediately go checking just how, just what faults may lie inside it, and, what minor inconveniences might occur from it down the road. It's essentially telling you, you know, just be happy you got the gift, damn it. So, top priority for the round. This action. We really hope it exists. Like I said, the fakirs could definitely cut it. The halflings can't. But the fakirs probably won't cutting it, is what I'm hoping, because they have access to this. The double dig. It's much more efficient. And, as foreseen, there it goes. If someone gave you a horse, yes, in the modern era, look for a receipt is absolutely a reasonable reaction to that. Okay, so we're getting... Looks like fakirs are going for the next town. I don't know if they have enough resources to make 2 additional towns. That is actually possible, maybe. I don't know. They would need to terraform this tile. That is a hard tile for them to terraform. The halflings have secured their connection spot. So now they have to pay out most of the rest of their... Yep, he's just using the driller as a thing that he can place. The 9th dwelling that gives no income. No big surprise to me. Factions lean on their special tiles in varying degrees, and there's some flexible and interesting ones. The halfling one, unfortunately, tends to get used for its value as any building. Alright, let's do this before it goes away. Do I click this? Or do I click this? Let's... cancel? I'll pay this way. I don't know how to use a power action on the UI for this. I'm going to try this one and hope that this works. Because it won't let me select a water space, so we're just going to click that. We'll put the coral reef here. No, we won't. We won't. Because that gives this fakir player an opportunity for power that he doesn't need. So we'll go ahead and put it over here. If he wants the carpet fly down here... Actually, we'd prefer to get free power without spending points. Okay, so we'll put it inside here. If the dwarves tunnel here, that gives us 1 free power. Cool. This spot. Great. This is, in fact, what I want to pay. Good. It all worked out. So... Yes, Deluxe. This is what I was noting on the last round, that this was the most efficient route. With 2 shipping, he could build here, then he only needs upgrade shipping, and it's connected. So he's set up for that, but there's no way he's going to defeat us on network. He'll have 3 money and 9 workers left over after. I don't think he can get through enough of these buildings. Whereas we're pretty well set up to start spamming some dwellings. Of course, we'll get our stronghold down first. Yeah, mermaids go! I'm a beautiful siren. I did promise you, early in the stream, that I would win this game, Illusion. And I hope I seem like an honest streamer to you. So this filled up before we had access to doing anything here. Really glad we got our priest in when we did. So, no one took the shipping card. Pretty surprising. That means that actually somehow on the final round, we are the only ones gaining points from passing. Which means that this lead is even bigger than it looks. Amazing. So, here goes the stronghold. And then we have to take a town tile. Our options suck. We wanted the 11 points, but it's gone now. We We can certainly take one bump on the cult tracks. It puts us ahead of 2 people on fire. This is a massive point game if nothing happens, but nothing won't happen. The halflings are... Oh, sorry, the halflings are the one in possession of this. So, may pay big dividends to advance here on cults. That could easily actually be better than the 11 points. So we'll go for that one. Don't think we are too desperate for the money. Yeah, none of the rest of these are worth it. Okay. To Stronghold we go. We do that first because we need the increased shipping to build these spaces. So there's our town. Huzzah! No conversions for me. Evil Hamster might have different plans. I don't know about Evil Hamster's plans. You just look at what's left for us to build on these boards and how many resources remain. And he's got to up his shipping too. Like, we are really in the better shape here to try and area win this. 2 power for 1 point, so that's a proposal. I could choose that just to grab this, but in retrospect, that's probably not worth it, because it is 3 money over spending power the old-fashioned way to convert, and 3 money extra is only 1 point at final scoring, so that would at best be the even trade here, I think. Evil Hamster did just act. It is our next action. So we're really dead set we could grab this. We actually may want it, just because we're going to want a temple for air scoring. Yeah, there's some real incentives here. If we go dwelling, unfortunately we do not terraform easily. We could put down an extra dwelling here. If we're... 7 coins is 2 points. That's true, but it's only 1 point more than 4 money, which is what I can get without taking this. I think I am going to want the money because I do have a number of things left here that I can contemplate doing. So let's actually accept this hit. That's okay. Oh no! Oh no! For some reason I thought it was the Evil Hamster's turn that he incurred that. That could be very bad for us. Because now he can grab this power action. Whoopsie. Oh goodness. I actually don't have enough power to take this anyway. This was all a big mistake. Okay, well, he got his town. I only need to leech 1 more point of power, and this is mine. Okay, we know we want the dwellings for sure, because they come easily and they add to our network scoring. There's no incentive to spend priests now, and really no incentive to spend power to obtain a priest. So since we want the dwellings, we'll just do that first thing. Anything else that happens this turn is very incidental on top of that. Yes, his master plan was finally revealed. To scare me into thinking that he was going to steal my money power action, but then actually to need a bridge so he could finish his town. So here comes a Fakir town. The towns left are pretty low scoring entities outside of this one. Yep, and now it's bought up. Tied up with Fakirs on fire. But we knew someone would tie us by grabbing that other town tile. I think our next action is just going to be to go here, and then we're going to wait patiently and see if we have to burn workers the hard way in order to grab this tile or this tile for for a winning network size. If we don't, then we can entertain some thoughts of doing other point scoring things. It's going to be a shame if the Fakir's player will probably build here right now. And then we'll miss out on the one power leech we could have had if we'd gotten there a little sooner. Oh well. Okay, Evil Hamster taking a favor. Which favor will you get? Probably at this junction, yeah, he's just gonna win a cult. That makes sense. We're very happy that it didn't cause any contest with us. Okay, so let's get this so that we can try and leech that 1 point of power. The Fakirs have accepted a bunch. Oh no, they gained a bunch from increasing 1 on all the cult thresholds. So they do have the option to take this from us now. I don't think they're going to want to. I think they would prefer to burn it at inefficient conversion rate for workers. Or, more likely, gain another priest. Because another priest is another carpet flight as far as they're concerned. And a carpet flight is worth a lot of points. And in fact, he snap took it, so, and then the hamster beat us to it by 1 action! No, damn it, hamsters! They're evil, okay. I will know better in the future. Never trust the hamster. Oh well. Alright, so where do we want to head on this? Very little ability to terraform. Have we just deterministically won on the network? We have all but 4 buildings down. He's at all but 6. The dwarves have 1 billion. The Fakirs are at 6 also. They have upgraded their carpet flight range. But only 1 time. Still though, that lets them fly here. They'll be interested in doing those things, I imagine. Okay, that's 2 easy flights for them, which puts them tied with us on network size. And we can be virtually certain they'll take them. So we're gonna have to do this, terraform the hard way and build another dwelling. At least we still can. I would choose, let's see, which site do we want that? Probably here in the name of hoping to leech 1 additional power. We do have the option... No, we can't use our priests to terraform something the hard way. So I think we're just gonna have to... Oh, sorry, I miscounted. 2 more does not take him into a tie there. But he can also build here. So we know that to compete with Fakirs on network, we will have to put this dwelling down. And that is definitely worth doing. Network is worth so many points. So we're going to terraform this the hard way. And then we may well be passing after that. So that may have been a misplay here. It is occurring to me, had I terraformed this one instead, I can build that for free. But that would require me to spin up, I would have to use the workers as priests to reclaim a trading post. I would need a power out of here, and then I would still need to get a worker and 2 coins out of my power bin, which requires an expenditure of 5 in a configuration where I can only spend 2. So it's probably not even an option to do all that. That said, I definitely should have left myself the choice. In case I did receive the power, this definitely would have been wise. So as things stand, I don't have anything to do except terraform this tile and hope someone grants me power to do something with it. And that seems really inefficient and terrible, so we won't do that. We will start throwing priests at cults in order to win these where possible. So, yeah. The other place we can entertain getting a bump on the cults is in water if fakirs grab a favor to jump way past us. But I don't think they're going to. I think they're just going to build this and call it a day. It is a little annoying, though, that we need to bump this in preparation if we want to win, because fakirs... They would make a carpet flight if they could, but they definitely cannot. It's a weird quirk of the UI that fakirs for some reason, aren't permitted to carpet fly to adjacent spaces. And if you read the manual, they should be allowed to. But Board Game Arena doesn't let them. It would be a pretty tiny buff to them if they could. Whatever. Still really bummed out I didn't see about taking this evil tile so that I have access to this lake. Okay, you think they can only tie now. Are you saying, is this a comment about area sizes, or are you saying that the fakirs can tie me on the fire cult? I don't think the fakirs can tie me in area. Oh, yes, they can tie me in area, trivially, by building here. So I may yet pay for not choosing this space. Oh well. Now this is the part where I need to do something with my last priest. I can send him here, send him there. Unfortunately, the halflings do have a priest left. And I don't think they have... They do not have access to the resources to build anything additionally. So they're totally happy to use that priest on a cult. So if I advance here to tie them, they will come past me. Also, it seems incredibly likely that the fakirs will come up and tie me here if I do nothing on that. So I'll just slide up on fire. We haven't passed yet. There's not really any sense in using a conversion because there's nothing that I could conceivably choose to do next. Evil does indeed have a priest. Yep, that's why we advanced on fire instead. It's a real shame. Him building here plus the priest action would have... Oh no, I could not have taken the priest action, as it happens. I would have needed both priests as workers if I had chosen the line where, if I had chosen the line that involved trying to build a trading post and then go an extra worker down here. So I, as of yet, would still not have received enough power to make that play come to fruition. So it's looking likely that it didn't matter that I picked this spot. So I could have, instead of advancing on this cult track, expended a priest to upgrade my shipping. That was worth 4 points. But also, it was, it begot 1 less money through power at final scoring. It was actually a considerable loss from final scoring resources. Right? It eats up, effectively 5 of them. So that means that this bump relative to Fakir's was definitely worth it. Okay, so we spent our things right, and we have nothing left to do. Now, we're not actually ahead of the Fakirs by that much here, nor the dwarves. So there is a little lingering worry about what happens here. We know we're crushing the dwarves on network. Fakirs, it looks like we're tying, and that would have happened on either line, this space versus that one. So, oh well, we're content for the tie. Do we defeat the Fakirs on cult scoring? It's roughly a wash, but it's immaterial. Our point lead will prevail for us. So we should have this game. Promise fulfill the illusion. I would never do a terrible thing like not win with one of my viewers' favorite races. I think halflings are desperately trying to figure out what they can do, but they can't do anything. There are no game actions for them, so they passed. Time to score it up. Priest didn't even use that, or the Fakirs didn't even use that last priest, and that looks like a big mistake to me. They could have, nope, they did not have the ability to, sorry. You expect them to be able to burn it for 4 points in the end game, but their lack of upgrading the carpet flight range kind of does them in here. Alright, area tie. Oof. It's amazing how long the final scoring takes on this game. We broke 150! Huzzah! Alright. Moving up in the world, but we don't gain a whole lot of ELO because apparently these players didn't have that much. Okay, so unfortunately playing a second game is a bit of a long enterprise at this juncture. And I have yet to eat anything today, so I think I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream off here. My next stream's going to be on Saturday. If you scroll down below the channel, you should be able to see the time on that. And hopefully I can make that one extra long and play a couple rounds of this for anyone that cares to see that. And I have not forgotten, So Illusion and Necrodaddy, I'm going to check out Gaia Project for you. So thanks all for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening.